My name is Ehrie. I am a teacher for international business at the Hazet, and I teach market research to the first-year students. I teach research and innovation to the second-year students as a precursor to the student company program, which I'm also very involved in as a coach. And I teach to the fourth-year students digital marketing, and I also work as a graduation supervisor. It's a little like the lottery opening. Personal attention, definitely. Close community. I believe that our students are quite close to each other and build a solid network during their years at the Hazet. And the international experience that you have with coming to our program. We have students that come from all over the world to study with IB. And relatively small class sizes as compared to some of the other hogescholen in the Netherlands. What age? When I was 5 and 6, I wanted to be a paleontologist and work with dinosaurs. When I was 7, 8, and 9, I wanted to be an astronaut and go to outer space. And then I saw the movie 2010: A Space Odyssey, and I changed my mind. And from there, I think it was maybe artist and writer, and it ended up that I studied as an undergraduate graphic design and media communications. So I sort of put my feet into two different worlds. And that set me off on the path that I took. That's a really good question. And I find that to be the most challenging part of being a teacher. I spent the first 20 years of my career working in the field as a digital marketer, and before that as an art director for an advertising agency. And I became a teacher when my daughter was born. So I'm still learning in some ways, I guess. And I find the task of evaluating a student's performance an enormous responsibility because it's very difficult to really know what's happening in the background for each and every single student that I have in class, whether it's a class of 20 or a class of 50 or a class of 100. So I try to keep perspective that everyone has their own story. I find the contact to be the most valuable indicator of learning. So I try to have as much contact with my students and encourage them to contact me when they have questions. But as far as assessments go, the sort of, structured side of how we assess student performance, I like to do anything involving writing, because learning how to write proficiently in English is a big part of this education. We do a lot of reports. We create professional products. So you learn how to create an actual marketing plan, or how to actually execute market research, or how to create a customer path for a digital marketing plan. So you can start to get your hands busy and your minds busy with the actual tasks that you would receive on an internship or out in the field as a professional. And some exams as well, of course. You can't get out of an education without some kind of exam. So I create multiple choice and essay exams for that purpose for most of my courses. So we usually have 2 assessments in each course. One is more subjective and related to creating a professional product, and one is more related to testing the acquisition of theory in an exam format. Do you have any hobbies? Yes, of course I have hobbies. Everyone does, right? I do yoga every morning. I love to do yoga. It helps me to stay balanced, I guess is a good word. I'm really into cooking, and particularly my family has switched a year and a half ago to a completely non-processed diet. So we put a lot of time and energy into the acquisition of the ingredients that we're going to use in the meals that we prepare. So we spend some time going to local farms to do that. I'm also really interested in topics related to conscious consumerism and minimalism and sustainability, and I try to always incorporate those themes into the projects that I create for the projects that my students do. I think it's related to what I said earlier, that trying to stay aware that every student has their own story, that every student has their own stuff going on, in addition to trying to get an education, and in addition to trying to become an adult, because this is such a formative time in your life from the ages of 16, 17 until 21, 22. You're leaving behind everything you know and beginning to establish yourself as an adult for the first time. And that's a huge transition. So it's really important, I think, for us to keep in mind as teachers that, it's not always just about the acquisition of knowledge, but sometimes about stopping and taking time for the story to help the students maintain balance. And in so doing, helping us to maintain balance.